Rick Allen, Steve Letarte, Jeff Burton with you as we look back on Richmond. Chase Elliott, with his 13th place finish, has now thrust his name right back into the discussion of can he point his way in? Only 40 points below the cut line. So, Steve, is it possible? Can he make up at least 10 points a race with just the 4 races remaining?
Well, listen, my answer hasn't changed. Possible, yes. Probable, no. I think Chase Elliott thinks it's going to take a win, or at least winning performances. If he doesn't go to victory lane, but he is in the position to win the next 4 races, then the points will come. And I really think that's the argument I'm trying to make, is that if people think that 10th place finishes or this weekend's 13th place finish is going to work over the next 4 weeks, I just don't think it is. And here's why. While he has closed into 40 on the cut line, Jeff, if you go back to New Hampshire, he's only gained about 10 points from New Hampshire to now on Ty Gibbs, who's in ahead of him. You know, he's gained less than that on Bubba Wallace. So while he has gained because Daniel Suarez has had some issues and Micah McDowell wasn't great at Richmond, I just don't think that's what he wants to lean on. And I'll go one further. I'm not sure pointing in is even a goal of theirs. You know, when I hear the quotes from Chase and the quotes from Allen, they want to be in the playoffs, but they want to be contenders. And Jeff, in my mind, they think it's going to take winning to be considered a contender. Now, making the playoffs gains them 3 more weeks in that first round to get stuff figured out, but I think it's going to take a win.
Yeah, I do too. I think if you look at this past weekend, they got as much help as they could possibly get. Suarez had a horrible weekend. He finished 33rd. You just go down and look at the list. Allmendinger had a horrible weekend. He finished 27th and 25th and 22nd in the stages. Chase Elliott, it's not like he had a great weekend. He finished 13th. He did finish 4th in the first stage. I mean, if they're going to give it to him and have those kind of events, then I guess theoretically he could make it, but he's going to have all of them in front of him, give him those kind of weekends for the next few weeks, and I just don't see that happening. I think he got as much as he could have gotten this weekend. If they ran better, which they didn't, they could have taken it much more advantage of it and put themselves in better shape. The problem is right now, I don't see them having the ability to take advantage. The speed's not there. I don't know why. It confuses me. It's every team goes through this where you're not as good as you want to be. William Byron's not exactly running the way he was running earlier either. So I don't know. Kyle Larson, he did not run good this week. He did not run well this weekend either. So I've got several concerns. Number one, I think the injury and then the suspension that broke their rhythm, that hurt their process of being able to build on something. They just don't have the pace. And the only reason they made ground up this week wasn't because of their performances, because of the more poor performances of their competitors.
And Jeff, I really haven't seen winning ways for the 9 teams since he's been back behind the wheel. But you look at the next 4 races, you've got Michigan. He could win there. You have Indianapolis Road Course. Of course, he could win there. He's won at Watkins Glen twice already. And then Daytona Superspeedway, anybody can win. So, yes, he could win at those. But when you look at the competitors that he's fighting for points against, Michael McDowell, could he have a good race? Yes, definitely at Michigan. We know he's going to be competitive at the road courses. And then when you go to Daytona, it's anybody's game. And we've seen Michael McDowell be very good. That's right now the bar that Chase Elliott is fighting to catch up to. So does that count against him as trying to point his way in?
Well, I got a question for you. Is he going to outrun Suarez at the 2 road courses?
Right.
Is he going to outrun Ty Dillon at the 2 road courses? Is he going to outrun A.J. Allmendinger at the 2 road courses? Is he going to outrun Michael McDowell at the 2 road courses?
Right.
I would say I don't know. I mean, 2-3 years ago, I'd have said, oh, yeah, he's going to win a few of them. But they haven't had that winning pace on road courses. So Daytona's right. Like, there's anybody in the field, literally anybody in the field can win Daytona, no doubt. But that works against you, too, because anybody in the field can win, not just you. So I just don't see them separate. So far, they haven't been able to separate themselves from the people that they're racing with. And if they are Hendrick Motorsports, it is Chase Elliott. It is Alan Gutherson. There's a ton of talent right there. Do I count them out of winning a race? I'm not that stupid. I know how talented they are. I know they're capable, but they're going to have to be better than they've been to this point so far this year.
Rick, another way to look at this, and it sounds silly because the point total is what matters, but the other thing they have accomplished over the last few weeks is they have moved up that leaderboard into the 20th spot. And while people say, well, it doesn't matter. You still need to be in the top 16. The less people you have to beat means there's a chance good fortune could turn on you. When there was 5, 6, 7 drivers in front of him, you were expecting 7 drivers to have issues. What he has done is he has run well enough. He hasn't eliminated himself. That's how I would look at it. While 13th at Richmond isn't the goal, he ran with his teammates, around his teammates, and bested some of his teammates, right? So to Jeff's point about the lack of speed, I believe Chase Elliott, Allen, and this 9 team are getting everything out of what they currently have. Now, I know that's unfair because they're the same group responsible to go faster, but you can't just go fast. You can't want it to go faster. You can't just hope it goes faster. You have to uncover something new in the car, something new in the setup, right? This isn't just a want or a hope. It's not that they need to try harder. So they have executed and inched their way up the leaderboard, which would allow, if people start to stumble, then Chase can be there. That's what I'm going to look for through the road courses. Will he outrun them? I don't know. But I feel pretty good he might not make more mistakes than they will. I think if I am on the 19 now, let's just execute and see where everything falls at the end.
Hi, folks. Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.